It is Monday, April 19th, 2021. And on today's episode of Monday Morning Football, we're talking AFC North draft previews. So that's the Cincinnati Bengals draft previews. That's the Cleveland Browns draft previews. That's the Baltimore Ravens draft previews. And of course, the King of the North, the Pittsburgh Steelers draft previews. This is Monday Morning Football with the Guru. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Football. Appreciate y'all, man. You could have been anywhere on this planet, but you're rocking with me, and I appreciate y'all. So with that said, I'm going right to it because we're doing the draft needs. The draft is coming up, and I got to talk about the AFC North, one of the best division in football. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, my opinion, the AFC North is one of those divisions because you guys know me. I'm an NFC guy. You know, I'm a power NFC guy. We're not about finesse. We're just about power. So the AFC North always reminds me of the only division in the AFC that plays NFC style of football. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always like the AFC North, man. Now, to be honest with you, I always like the teams in the AFC North just because it's similar to the style of play I'm accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you could tell the AFC North kind of dominate the AFC in general. So you take away the New England Patriots' last 20 years of dominance, the AFC North absolutely dominates the entire AFC, man. So with that said, let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals as we go for our offseason and draft previews, right? So the Bengals are led by, obviously, the GM/owner Mike Brown and third year head coach Zach Brown, man. Zach Taylor. I'm tripping. Mike Brown, Zach Taylor second. It's the Bengals, dog. You really think I'm going to be sitting out here doing all this research on the damn Bengals? Hell nah. So y'all expect me to mess things up here and there, dog? Shit. The Bengals always mess everything up anyway, so I'm just doing the same thing the Bengals are used to doing. You know what I mean? But realistically, let's talk about Zach Taylor for real, man. The last couple of years, Zach Taylor's 6-25-1 overall record so far in his young tenureship as a head coach. And frankly, I don't even know if this dude could coach, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I don't know if he could coach. Like, could he coach? The record obviously shows me, but I really don't know. But the thing about historically with this Cincinnati Bengals organization, they don't fire quick. You know what I mean? It don't matter if you suck or not. They don't fire quick. So with that said, I think Zach Taylor got himself job security for a long period of time in Cincinnati, man. I mean, you got to really do something really dumb to get fired as a head coach for the Bengals within 5 or 6 years of your tenureship. So he's safe, man. So moving forward, I want to continue now with this as far as the key departures because there's a transition going on in Cincinnati right now, man. It's like things have changed. The old guards, they're just changing. It's becoming a new team, a new culture, just a change. With that said, you see the old guard, like key departures like Geno Atkins. It seemed like for the last basically 10, 15 years, when I think about the Bengals, the two guys I think about is Geno Atkins and A.J. Green, man. So those guys are gone from the Bengals. A.J. Green, one of the all-time greatest Cincinnati Bengals player of all time. He's also was a key guy that was released from the organization this past season. And the organization is just going a different direction, man. With the influx of new youth, it's a youth movement right now. So and AJ Green is a casualty of that, obviously, as well as long-term standout Geno Atkins. Another key departures are William Jackson. One of the surprising move, in my opinion, William Jackson. He's a very above-average cornerback in the NFL. So that was a shocking move for me as far as the Bengals not picking him up as far as that goes. And obviously, they released a long-time third down back, long-time stay over there in Cincinnati, Giovanni Bernard, who just signed now with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. So now, let's move on to as far as like the key arrivals. So we know guys are left. We know the guys that left. So now the Bengals they gotta infuse some talent. Now we gotta see what they're trying to do, what direction, what are they trying to build in Cincinnati? Because tell the truth, I don't know. I don't know if you guys don't see. I don't know. I'm just going by what I see. And tell the truth, I don't think they even know, to be honest with you. I think they're just making it up as we go. So I'm going to help them make it up as we go. So let's go ahead, Cincinnati, So some of the key rivals, they brought in Trey Hendrickson. This dude from the New Orleans in the defensive end last year from the New Orleans who had a breakthrough year, man. I mean, he had an outstanding year. Ended up with 13.5 sacks last year. So the crazy thing is Hendrickson by himself had 13.5 sacks, but the whole entire Cincinnati Bengals defense by himself created only 17 sacks last year. So that is an upgrade as far as the statistic shows. But me, frankly, I don't think Trey Hendrickson is really what the numbers said he is. I don't think the 13.5 sack. I don't think that's that guy. I don't think he's a 13.5 type of sack guy. I think, frankly, he's more to the 6.5 to maybe 11.5 type of sack guy. I think that's really his guy. I think he's more of a pressure guy. He's a guy that's going to generate pressure than most of the guys that's going to finish and get 13.5 sacks. So good for him. He parlayed 13.5 sack to make that big money with the Cincinnati Bengals, man. Also, the Bengals brought in one of my favorite guys in the league, man, Mike Hilton, one of my favorite slug corner in this league, man. I mess with Mike Hilton, a guy that has a great story. Undrafted free agent, developed over there in the Pittsburgh organization. He became one of the best top-tier inside cornerback in the league. In 4 seasons in Pittsburgh, he had 7 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, and about 32 pass breakups. So this dude is always around the ball, man. He's a ball hawk. So I like that pickup right there for the Bengals, actually, man, especially stealing a division rival, somebody from the Steelers. So that's a very good pickup. I think that's one of the best pickups they picked up. To real, Mike Hilton is a beast for real. And as far as the offensive line, obviously the Bengals, man, we all saw what happened with Joe Burrows, dog. So they picked up Riley Reef from from Minnesota. Riley Reef, man. Hey, I'm a big Riley Reef guy. I'm a fan of Riley Reef. He's a stable guy. It's like this. It's like there's certain thing that's consistent. He can wake up every morning and eat bagels or eat bread or eat or cream cheese or eat scrambled eggs. It's just it's a consistent thing. It never gets boring. It just never gets old. It's just, you know what you're going to get with Riley Reef. And I think that'll be a good upgrade as far as protecting Joe Burrows. They're picking him up for the Minnesota Vikings. Also, they picked up Chidobe Awuzie from the Cowboys. I just mentioned that name just because they needed. I like his name, Awuzie. I just want to say his name. I don't think he's going to be any of a significant factor. He sucked in Dallas, to be honest with you. And I think the Bengals, I think he's going to suck in the Bengals as well, man. And they picked up my man, Larry Ojinobi. Yeah, man, I got to talk about my Africans. The only reason why I mentioned Larry Ojinobi and Cheeky too is just the African connection, dog. I'm African. If I'm going to talk about a team and they got Africans in there, I am obligated as an African to talk about my Africans. All right? Cool. So now let's move on to talk about the draft need. The most important thing, man, this is why we're here. What's the draft needs and who are the draft projected? Who I feel it should be the player that you draft. So the Bengals need a whole bunch of things, man. But most importantly, they got the franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow last year. So you got to do everything in your mama to protect this boy, man. Obviously, you saw when you didn't protect this dude, he broke himself. So I know we got Riley Reef with the as far as free agency to tag with Jonah Williams from a couple seasons ago. So with this pick, with the 5th overall pick, one thing we do know about the Bengals are going to stay still. One of the most conservative organization, man. Mike Brown don't even have the numbers of any other GM in the league, so he ain't even worried about taking calls or people calling him and all that nonsense. The Bengals going to stay at 5. They will stay at 5, and at the 5th pick, I expect them to draft Penei Sewell out of Oregon. It's a no-brainer. Even an idiot GM like a guy like Mike Brown knows you can't mess this up. So I expect dummy Mike Brown to draft Penei Sewell. Don't even overthink it, Mike Brown, because if you don't, your franchise quarterback, he's going to be one of them. He's going to be, trust me, he won't make it another season if you guys don't go do something with that offensive line. Round 2, I expect them to go ahead, man. This is, like I said, hey, Mike, I'm giving you a freebie right here, man. Like, I'm not even going to charge you for this consulting I'm giving you. Your first pick, you go get Penei Sewell, right? Your second pick, go ahead and get that boy over there in Alabama, center, Landon Dickinson. I know you guys probably won't think like this because you guys are not smart like the guru. That's why they call me the guru and they call you Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is I know football more than you know Mike Brown. So with that said, I would double team as far as protecting my prize. I will get Penei Sewell my first round, and I will tag that up with one of the best center in the game in the draft class coming out, Landon Dickinson. This dude is just a beast, dog. I'm talking about you put that inside interior lineman right there, protect the front of Joe Burrows. Now that is how you start developing and building a team. And with the third pick, you got to continue as far as the defensive line. Obviously, Geno Atkins gone. We saw with Carlos Dunlap gone. And I know they added Hendrickson, but they got to add some more on the defensive line. So with this pick in the third round, I looked at Marvin Wilson. I think he will fit definitely over there in Cincinnati. They need somebody big, just like a Geno Atkins clone. So I expect them to draft. I think, in my opinion, this is no-brainer. Once again, free consultant. Third round, Marvin Wilson, interior defensive lineman for the Cincinnati Bengals. So my first 1, 2, 3 rounds. Round 1, Penei Sewell. Round 2, Landon Dickinson. Round 3, Marvin Wilson. And that's the Cincinnati Bengals draft needs. Y'all know the drill, man. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk the Cleveland Browns. Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Hey, I love it. Appreciate y'all showing us the love over there on YouTube. Hey, you guys are killing. I gave y'all, I said YouTube, who's going to do, who? It's a competition. My YouTube audio or versus my audio guys, man, my Spotify. Hey, man, my Spotify guys, y'all listeners got to step the game up, man. Y'all got to step the game up because them YouTubers, man, they love the good. They love this face. What are y'all trying to say, my Spotify audio guy? Y'all don't love my voice? Y'all don't love my voice? Huh? My voice? Spotify don't like my voice? Well, F for the spy then. Y'all don't know where I come from, man. Y'all, if y'all too young to know that, that's Snoop Dogg when he was an East Coast, West Coast beef, man. Y'all kids don't know that. You know what I'm saying? East Coast don't work with the West Coast? The East Coast don't work with the West Coast? What? Well, fuck the East Coast, man. Oh, shit. That was one of the deadliest shit, bro. Oh, my God. Snoop Doggy Dogg. See, y'all crazy. Y'all don't know gangster Snoop. Y'all think Snoop is all old, making funny lyrics and shit. Snoop was a gangster, bro. A gangster, yo millennial, man. Uncle Goo would just give y'all a little history lesson, man. So now, the history lesson, dog. Speaking of history lesson, I want to talk about the Cleveland Browns. We're moving on to the next offseason preview, the next draft preview. And I'm excited about this team, dog, because you don't want somebody to have a crush. You know, you all have that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Unless y'all now, hey, pull out this. We all had this feeling when you just love something, or when you just love someone, when you just have a crush, when you just it's just the butterflies. When you start talking about it, you just can't help it. That's how I feel about the Cleveland Browns going into 2021. I just get butterflies, man. I just get chills, dog. I love the Cleveland Browns, dog. Like, oh my goodness, I'm so high on the Cleveland Browns that I'm smoking some indica weed high. I'm so high, dog, on the Cleveland Browns, bruh. First of all, we all know GM Andrew Berry, bruh. The Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, this dude his trajectory right now. It seems like everything Andrew Berry does is gold. Andrew Berry, everything he does is gold, man. You all hit it out the jackpot. This young kid, right, man, he's going to be one of the best GM when everything's said and done in football, bro. This dude has it all. Eye for talent. I mean, he's talking about high IQ. I'm talking about as far as It's just innovative way of thinking, man. I just love everything about him. That's what I told you. I'm in love with the Cleveland Browns, so y'all got to deal with this. If y'all don't like that puppy love shit, then you know what? Tune me off now. But if you like that feeling of love, yeah, dog, because I'm about to show y'all my love for the Cleveland Browns. And if y'all with me, y'all better bark. I want to hear you say like DMX. Bark with me, dog. The dog pound. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, man. Obviously, led by my man Kevin Stefanski, man. So this is like the best marriage in heaven, like Stefanski and freaking Andrew Berry, man. It's like salt and pepper, dog. It's like you put salt and pepper without each other, they're good, but together it's like the best freaking meal, dog. You can't have a meal without salt and pepper, dog, and you can't have a great success in Cleveland without Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, dog. Woo! Man, I'm so hyped up, man. So the key departures is like, who wants to leave Cleveland? But you have Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski. Who wants to leave Cleveland? Nobody wants to leave Cleveland, man. Who's the key departure? None of them. I just got to name you all because I have this on the topic, right? Sheldon Richardson, Adrian Claiborne. They really is not key. They're just a departure, but they both were good contributors from last year. Obviously, Sheldon Richardson was a starter. They combined for about, 7, 8 sacks combined? So it's not... They were losing more depth than anything else, in my opinion. Now, as far as the arrivals, oh my goodness. This is where Andrew Berry is making his dog. I know he quiet. I know he don't say much, but I keep telling y'all, man, Andrew Berry is killing the game. Everything he's doing, man. Boom. Bringing in cornerback Troy Hill. Dude, I love this move, though. Troy Hill's one of the best inside cornerback in the game. One of the best. He's a top 7 slot cornerback in the game. Had a crazy season last year, man. Finished with 3 picks, 2 to the house, man. 3 INTs and 2 to the hizzy, dog. You know what I'm saying? 1 forced fumble and 2 fumble recovery, man. That's what you call a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? And he's bringing his homie with him. John Johnson, his safety from the Rams. He's bringing him with him, man. Johnson, another ball hog. In 4 years, have a career, 8 INTs. And this dude is always around the ball with 32 PBUs, dog. Every time you watch the Rams, it seems like in key situation, my man John Johnson is always making plays, dog. No BS. And I love that move because one of the biggest need the Cleveland Browns was needed was in the secondary, man. So now you had Troy Hill, John Johnson, so Denzel Ward. Hopefully Greedy Williams come back healthy. I mean, I love everything. I love the build. I love the development. Andrew Berry, what you're doing is amazing. And the Cleveland Brown roster, the Cleveland Brown roster, man, y'all better whoa. Y'all better don't be sleep, bro, because them boys, they build themselves a team out there, man. And look, I got to talk about this. I know everybody want to talk about the Jadeveon Clowney pickup. I like that pickup because Jadeveon Clowney is a man. When you talk about one of the best run-stuffing defensive linemen in this football league, that's Jadeveon Clowney. I'm not worried about people always talk about, he only get no sacks. Nah, bro. You put the film on Jadeveon Clowney, it ain't about that side. That's what they need him for. They need him to be a disruptor, and that's what he does, man. But really, I want to talk about probably the best free agent the key arrivals, man. Like I know most people and most major media won't talk about. That's linebacker Anthony Walker from the Colts, dog. The Browns picked up Anthony Walker from the Colts. I love this pickup, dude. This dude is one of the best unknown linebackers in all of football. 2 years ago, when Darius Leonard got hurt, led the Colts in tackles, man. This dude is a tackling machine, high IQ. He knows football, dog. This dude is going to be a value add. He's a locker room guy. I love this pickup once again by Andrew Berry, one of the best, sneakiest young DM in the game, man. So now, let's transition to the draft needs. With this roster, I think it's like the Browns are in a situation right now where they could pick the best player. You know what I'm saying? It's like their roster is so developed and so nice. I expect them to go with their best players available. So with that said, with the draft needs, I project the Browns, they need a corner. I definitely think they need a cornerback because I'm not sure with the health of Greedy Williams. I also think they need an edge rusher, and also they also got to add on. They got to add something as far as offensive line needs. They got to add some more to that beat, even though they had probably the best offensive line unit in, or at least one of the best offensive line unit in football. So with that said, with the first pick of the draft, honestly, man, Andrew Berry is a smart GM, and I'm a smart guru. So in this set, I think we know the Browns need a pass rusher, right? But I think with the addition of Jadeveon Clowney, I don't think they necessarily have to get the pass rusher unless somebody is available. So if somebody like Jalen Phillips is available, obviously you gotta get Jalen Phillips. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Gotta get him. But if he's not available, I could see the Cleveland Browns drafting Asante Samuels Jr. over here at the cornerback position. So I just think just because the way the Cleveland Browns draft as far as their cornerback with Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward, look for a guy like Asante Samuels Jr. I think his skill set fits exactly what Andrew Berry and company are looking for, man. A complete playmaker, a ball hawk. I mean, a guy that could come up and stop the run, a tough, hard-nosed, complete corner, man. So look for, as far as the first round 26 pick, I see Asante Samuels Jr. in Cleveland. Second round, this one they got to go as far as pass rusher. And frankly, I think they should stay close to home. I think they should get Patrick Jones from University of Pittsburgh. I think Patrick Jones was one of the best, highly productive edge rusher in football the last couple of seasons. I think his productivity and his tape definitely shows it. He might not have, as far as his combine or his pro days numbers, whatever that nonsense is, might not have really show. But you put out the tape on this guy. This guy's relentless, man, and he knows how to get after the quarterback. And I think he'll be another excellent upgrade as far as that goes for the Cleveland Browns. So like I said, the Cleveland Browns are in a situation where they don't need a bunch of draft guys. They're in a situation where they could actually trade in a situation and build more draft capital and draft equity for the 2022 draft. This is the perfect roster right now. It's built. They have depth in every position. They're basically too deep in most of the important position that you need to be in. So Andrew Berry done an outstanding job. Kevin Stefanski have done even a better job as far as coaching this unit. And I anticipate the Cleveland Browns to take the next step. Yes, this ain't the first time I've said it, and I'm going to keep saying it again. I expect the Cleveland Browns to shock everyone and their mama this year, and for them to actually be the number one seed. I expect the Cleveland Browns to win up to 12 games this season, man. And y'all know the drill. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will be talking the Baltimore Ravens. This is Monday Morning Football with the Guru. Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, man, appreciate y'all once again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm the G to the U to the R to the U. This is what I do because this is what I do, man, because this is what I'm here to do. Like, I came out the womb, man. First thing I did was I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Why don't you turn the game on, man? You know what I'm saying? I was one of those kids. I was born like on a Monday. So it was Monday Night Football type shit. So I was like, Doc, man, what y'all doing over here trying to get me out the womb and shit, man? You better put the damn game on, bro. Y'all messing around, trying to mess around with my mom shit, man. Dog, turn the damn TV on in this mug. When I came out the womb, I was like, turn the TV on. I'm trying to watch the ball game. Yeah, man. I came out the womb watching football. And I'm going to go, and I tell all my folks, when I go out in my casket better be made in the shape of a football, damn it. I'm going out in a football casket. That's what I'm telling y'all. That's how much love I got for this game, dog. I came out the vagina, but I'm going down in a football. Hey, let me stop it, dog. Let me talk about the Baltimore Ravens, bro. How about that? Because they always running the football. That's what they do. They talk about football. You know what I'm saying? Dying in football. The Ravens live and die with the running game, with the running the football, dog. So the Ravens obviously led by John Harbaugh, the longtime head coach. Seemed like he's been there since, I don't know, forever. The Ravens, I think what he's like their second. I think the Ravens only had like 2 head coach, like Brian Billick and John Harbaugh. Yeah, man. Shit. John Harbaugh is Mr. Ravens, right? So let's go to the key departures. The thing about the Ravens, they always lose guys, but they're such a great developmental organization. So it's like they always find replacement. They lost. I remember last year was like a couple years ago was Darius Smith, and now all of a sudden Matthew Judon stepped up. Now Matthew Judon is one of those guys they didn't resign, so he's one of those key departures. Mark Ingram, y'all, I love me some Mark Ingram, man. You know what I mean? Big trust. Nah, they trust his big ass out of there, man. So Mark Ingram is another guy that they got rid of, man. They got rid of Willie Snead. Actually, I was a Willie Snead fan, man. There was something about Willie Snead. It seemed like every time I watched the Baltimore Ravens play, Willie Snead always makes some type of a drive converting first down or something, man. He's just a clutch. One of those guys. He's a chain mover, a chain reaction guy, man. A first down mover. And also, they also lost Yannick Ngakoue. Obviously, Yannick he just came there for for 5-6 games basically. He came there for half the season. So, but the thing is, that was the entire Ravens pass rush right there. You know, they're a blitz heavy team. So with Yannick and Matthew Judon, that was how they generated pressure. Without those guys, now they got to find other ways of generating pressures. But the thing about the Baltimore Ravens, like I said, it's like the Pittsburgh Steelers with wide receivers. It's like the Green Bay Packers with offensive line, man. You know what I mean? It's like there's certain organizations that just know what the hell they do in a certain position. And the Baltimore Ravens, when it comes to the defensive front and defensive line, they know what the hell they're doing. So I anticipate guys already coming in, all the guys that's already going to be developed. So as far as the key rivals, this roster is basically set, man. It's like there's not too many things to do. And historically, the Ravens are not a big free agent type of organization, man. They're a homegrown organization. They draft well. They develop players. So as far as big time acquisition, that's not their DNA. But this year, the 2 guys they brought in, Kevin Zeither, he's my guy, man. The offensive lineman, obviously right guard. He's gonna go replace Marshall Yonder, who retired. So we're going to see how that goes. And also, they bring in wide receiver Sammy Watkins. To tell you the truth, I think Sammy Watkins he's an average football player. I think he's a jag. He's just a guy. So he's just a name guy anyway. So be frankly with you. But they brought him in just because he's a name guy. Now, let's move on to the draft needs. The Ravens, like I said, the roster is a Super Bowl roster, man. They got everything they need, but they got to strengthen up certain needs. So for me personally, I think they got to attack the edge rushing position. They definitely got to attack the center position because it seemed like every time they hide the ball or something, somebody was coming through the middle last year when I was watching Baltimore play. And they got to add an extra defensive line, and that's what the Ravens is specialized in as far as defensive line and the offensive line. So now moving on to the draft prospect as far as who will fill those needs. The first round pick, I anticipate the Baltimore Ravens do what they do, go with the defensive line. They're probably one of the best defensive draft organization in football, man. I anticipate Jalen Phillips, the defensive standout from the University of Miami, to be the first pick over there for the Baltimore Ravens in round 1. Moving on to round 2, I definitely like the interior offensive line target here. I like and I love my guy Creed Humphreys from Oklahoma Center. I think that would be a definitely upgrade because, like I said, you put the film on Baltimore last year. It seems like there was issues as far as the interior offensive line play. Obviously, they have a good tackle play, but the interior offensive line, it was kind of shaky. And adding a center like Creed Humphreys would definitely be a value upgrade at that position. And in the third round, they need beef up front, man. They need beef. They need macho because we already going with Jalen Phillips as far as the edge rusher. So they're going with the D lineman. I expect them to get Jay Tufuli. I can't say his name. Jay Tufuli. Jay Tufuli. You know what I'm saying? My Samoan boy, man. Jay Tufuli, my dog. If I mess your name up, my bad, homie. But I'm sure I ain't the first one, and I sure damn ain't going to be the last one. All right, Jay? So I'm going to call you JT, bringing sexy back, dog. So that's who I see, man, in Baltimore. You know the Baltimore Ravens, they're like them Samoans out there, man. Them island boys out there in Baltimore as far as the interior offensive line and developing pressure and making sure they hold up as far as the run against the run. So the Baltimore organization, it's something about success. Success has a script and have a system. And the Baltimore Ravens are a very successful organization. So they have a plan. They always stick to the plan. And right now it's the same old Baltimore Ravens. They draft well, they develop well, and they play well. And that is not going to change in 2021. So with that said, that concludes our Baltimore Ravens offseason draft needs, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the king of the North themselves, offseason and draft need. This is Monday Morning Football with the Guru. Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all, man, for showing love and everything else and showing hate. By the way, man, I need more hate, dog. Like for real, like y'all gotta show me some more hate. All this love and all this stuff. I wanna get some hate, bro. Cause you know I'm a battle sportscaster. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like the normal. I want to battle, dog. So the more like throw shit at me, I'm like yeah. You know why I said throw me hate? Because the most hated team in the whole AFC North, dog, the king of the North themselves. Yeah, because I want to be like the Pittsburgh Steelers because they get more hate and they use that hate to be a beast, dog. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole hate situation. Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously, one of the blue bread blood as far as NFL football organization. When you talk about how to run an organization, you go to Pittsburgh and you pick up the book of how the Rooney family run an organization, man. So they're led, obviously, by general manager / president. I have a label. They want to label my man Kevin Colbert. Obviously, he's been there since, 2000, I believe. He's been there forever, basically, his whole life. I feel like since I started watching Pittsburgh, like, for real, Kevin Colbert has been their GM. So that's what matters. At least the whole 2000s, for real. And then Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's been with them for like 15 years himself. Like Mike Tomlin's been in the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers forever, his damn self. So those are the two stalemate. It mixed with the culture of Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? They like expired milk. They like expired stuff. They like to hold on to things longer than most organization, man. So with that said, now, it's kind of ironic. I said they like to hold things longer, and I want to talk about the key departures, right? I just saw that, man. Look at that. I didn't even do that on purpose. But now, though, with the key departures, this is key right here, man. Left tackle, Alejandro Villanueva. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like every time I watch the Steelers, this big old guy, Alejandro, has been there. I think it's check me if I was wrong. I don't know. I think he went to like Army or something. He might be the guy. Cause I think he's the guy that always carry the flags every time Pittsburgh comes out, man. So I think they're gonna miss him. He's a Staples, been there forever. I'm also one of my favorite guys, man. One of my favorite inside corner. One of my favorite story guy. Mike Hilton, the undrafted free agent who ended up becoming a top 7 inside cornerback in the whole entire league. He was another key departure from the Steelers organization this past season. And obviously, starting running back, James Conner, the Terminator. James Conner, we all know his history, we all know his stories, and we all know we're familiar with his tenureship in Pittsburgh. It never really was anything that both parties would have accepted as far as success. So they went and they parted and they went the mutual way, James Conner. And also the Pittsburgh parted ways with other starting cornerback, Steven Nelson. So the Steelers are right now, they're in the organization right now, they're in limbo. I kind of don't know what they're kind of doing in a sense, but I kind of trust what they're doing because they got receipts. You know what I'm saying? They got equity amongst me. They got equity that they know what they're doing, equity. So even if I don't know what the heck they're doing, I have faith in them knowing that because of their receipts and their past history, I'm just going to go lean on them like they know what they're doing. I hope that makes sense, because I don't know what the hell I'm just doing with them right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot to add. Now, just in case I forgot this, I got to add that as far as the key departures, man. Bud Dupree. I can't believe I didn't even add that in there. One of the biggest departures to have. Bud Dupree, as far as the sack specialist, he was also a key departure. I got to add that in there, man, just in case y'all like, damn, Guru, you ain't mentioned Bud Dupree. Because I know y'all be commenting, man. Y'all comment, what do I call them? The comment vultures, man. Y'all comment hyenas. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting for the cat to make a mistake so y'all can be a hyenas and be like, yeah, you wrong, cuz. You wrong. Well, damn, cuz. I'm wrong, and I'm going to be wrong again too, dog. Shit. Man. Just like your team drafting a quarterback, man. They don't always hit in the first round, man. So now let's go to the key arrivals. None. The AFC North is a development organization, man. Pittsburgh is the leadership of that. As far as they like to draft, they like to build a homegrown guy. You don't really get too many high-ticket free agent type of guys. That is not their forte. That is not what they do in Pittsburgh. That's not how Kevin Colbert worked, and that's not how Mike Tomlin worked. Now let's move to as far as the draft needs and draft projected players. This is the whole Pittsburgh organization right here. They take pride as far as going out and looking for talent and cultivating that talent into building a successful football team in a season. So with that said, draft needs, they need a running back, damn it. They were one of the worst running team in football. Half the season, basically by December, they quit running the ball. Like them and the Buffalo Bills, they just quit. They didn't even know anything about running the ball. They didn't even know what running the ball means. So with that said, the number one priority is a running back. And with that said, their number two priority is the offensive line because they got to protect their big old quarterback, old-ass quarterback in Big Ben, and the running back that they will draft, they do got to protect. Somebody got to open the holes up for that running back, all right? And they gotta get an upgrade as far as the cornerback position, man. They're very old at that. They're very old at that cornerback position. Will Joe Hayden and company. So they gotta infuse some young talent at that position, especially with Mike Hilton also departing this offseason. So let's go to the projected players now. The projected draftees. This is easy. Hey, Kevin Colbert, you're a stand-up guy. You're a self-made. You're a football lifer, you're a football grinder. So me and Kevin Colbert, I know we're in the same situation and we're in the same mindset. So Najee Harris, it's a no-brainer, it's a slam dunk. Man, this is just take it to the bank. If you're about that gamble life, you better put everything you got. Najee Harris will be a Pittsburgh Steelers. If not, then somebody's gonna get fired sooner than later, man. And with that said, number two, they got to help up with the offensive line. Obviously, with Villanova leaving and a couple of injuries, a couple of other guys leaving as far as the offensive line. Their right tackle was also gone, so they got to upgrade. And I like Walker Little out of Stanford, man. I like this kid, man. He's a Stanford offensive lineman, so you know what you're getting. He's fitting that mold. He's NFL ready. I know he was plagued with injuries here and there, but when he gets to the pro level, this kid stalks his move. This dude has first-round talent, man. So Walker Little out of Stanford, I expect him to slide in that offensive tackle position, man. And then at the third-round pick, you got to short the back end. So I expect them to draft Shaun Wade, the cornerback slot, the outside/inside cornerback, depending on how Pittsburgh wants to use him. I anticipate seeing him more as an inside corner to replace Mike Hilton. So I expect him to draft in the third round from the Ohio State University cornerback Shaun Wade. So, like I said, the Pittsburgh organization is a well-oiled machine, man. They're like Chick-fil-A, man. They're like McDonald's, man. It's like you already know what you're getting, man. It's like you don't even got to, you could go to bed, sleep in, and wake up at night, know what you're going to get. The Steelers going to be, they're always going to contend for the division. They're always going to be contending for the Super Bowl. It's just what they do, man. They're contenders, man. That's who they are. They are the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are built strong. Steel City, baby. And this concludes the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason and draft needs. And this concludes Monday Morning Football with the Guru. Y'all know the drill. Like this, love this, share this, and I am out.